Underground dialogue. We gon' tell the truth. We ain't scared like a lot of y'all. Matters who they are. Do we bow? No, not at all. Dropping bombs on this wicked world, so it gotta fall. Underground dialogue. We gon' tell the truth. We ain't scared like a lot of y'all. Matters who they are. Do we bow? No, not at all. Dropping bombs on this wicked world, so it gotta fall. From the industry to the Oval Office, we expose the darkest motives of them all and disclose what the protocol is. Thinking and moving logical, stopping every maneuver possible, and apologizing for truth is not optional. We gon' help you with what you go through, reshape and mold you, and sweep over them weak lies they told you. If you living with no clue, we gon' deprogram the old you, and you get to keep your soul too.
What's going on, man? It's your big brother K-RINO, and y'all are tuned in again to another episode of the Underground Dialogue Podcast, where the name speaks for itself. I'm your big brother K-RINO, along with my co-host
Key Stove.
And look, man, the man in the middle tonight.
Making
really,
trouble.
hey, look, he really don't need no introduction, and you know we say that a lot, but y'all have seen this brother just going viral for standing up and being an advocate for our students and our young people in the city of Houston and outside of the city of Houston. Right. This brother here, he gonna tell it like it is, whether you like it or not, whether you agree with it or not. But he gonna always stand on his and represent what he believes in, and at the end of the day, his focus and main concern is about your children. Yeah. Making sure that we don't get caught up in this web of corruption that's going on. And we're going to talk about the TEA takeover of HISD and all that, man. But I got my brother from another, brother Gerry Monroe. How you feeling, family member?
Say, man, I'm doing good, man. I'm breathing. I ain't got no issues.
Come on with it. That's what it is, man. Well, look, we ain't going to play. We're going to get right down to it, man. As many of us may or may not know, the Texas Education Agency has taken over HISD, and there's a lot of back and forth going on with it. People that agree with the move, people that don't agree with the move, and I want to give my brother to break down, I guess, a timeline and your thoughts on it. Why did this happen? How did we get to where we are right now with this situation?
Well, we've had over, I'm gonna say, about close to 30 years of corruption
in HISD.
Okay. And the bottom line is they put themselves in that position. You're underserving the schools. You hear the word equity all the time. They've never been able to figure out exactly what equity means. Right. And that means that you have kids that are not getting what they need from an educational standpoint. And it kind of, the nail kind of hit the nail got hit on the top of the head in 2015 when Harold Dutton filed the bill 1842 and 1882. And those bills basically gave the agency the power to take over these schools if you had one school failure.
Dutton is the state
representative.
Okay.
So the people are mad at Dutton. Why did he do it? Okay, well, Dutton had a problem with Phyllis Wheatley at the time that was constantly failing. Cashmere didn't have a certified math teacher for 10 years. So he tried to get in touch with that current superintendent, which was Ted Greer. Well, Ted Greer ignored him and just basically said, I'm not going to meet with him. Right. So Dutton just remembered, because I've spoken to him in depth about this, that he was a state representative, so he knew how to make him, listen. He went up to Austin and he wrote that bill. He co-authored that bill. So I was in Austin at that time in that legislative season. I was there. I was in the educational committee. I camp out in there when I get there. So him, Alma Allen, at that time, Jimmy Don Acott was the chairman of the education committee. So this bill is being debated about. You can speak against it. You can speak for it. So I'm standing in there. I'm sitting in there basically when I see the Houston Federation of Teachers, the teachers union, speak in favor of the bill. Right. So I'm like, okay, cool. I don't have a problem with it because it's simple. If you just fix the schools, you ain't never got to worry about the bill. You see what I'm saying? So the bill goes through the process. It ends up passing. It becomes law. Abbott signs it into law. Well, I think it was 2018 in HISD where things kind of hit the fan. Where, we getting caught up with trustees, strong-arming vendors for their money, out their contracts. You have people doing all kinds of stuff. The board is racist as all outdoors back then. fighting. They fired Grenita Lathan in the middle of a meeting and basically had hired a new superintendent without ever having a public meeting. So that created a walking quorum. So these are the things that made TEA come back in and investigate HISD. Now, when they did the 6-month investigation, they found all this stuff. You had trustees that were lying to them. Holly Villaseca, basically, she broke down. She was the snitch of the group as a trustee. She told it all.
Okay.
And then you had other trustees that were saying, I don't know what she's talking about. But, dude, the man you tried to give the job to admitted that y'all had the meeting with him. You presented him the contract. So now they catching the trustees in the lies.
Right.
So at that point they said enough is enough. We're gonna take the school district over. The union gets with the board of trustees. They decide they're gonna file a lawsuit. They file a lawsuit. The lawsuit stops everything at that point. They couldn't take it over. Well, the first court say, well, you know what? We gonna go on and let TEA take over.
Okay.
So they shifted it. They sent it back down to the lower court, I think, and they had a judge in Austin that allowed them to get an injunction. So that stopped it completely. So now they got to go through court. So they going through court. So this stuff lasts until this year, from 18 to this year, I think it is. Hold on a second. Okay, so it lasts until this year. So in January, the Texas State Supreme Court said basically, TEA, you are now free to take over the HISD, take over the school district.
Okay.
When they said that, the shit hit the fan.